Hey everybody, I'm here with Jonathan Medina Reyes, who's the CEO, creative director, and founder of Dinobyte Studios. How are you doing today, Jonathan?
Good, good. I'm doing fantastic. I got a lot of balls rolling today or this week,
Yeah,
so I'm pretty excited for it.
that's awesome. Um, so I'm just going to jump right into the questions. We're going to start with the first one. So you founded Dinobyte, 5 years ago in 2019. How has the journey been since then? 5 years, that's a lot. That might be one of the biggest, you might be one of the longest running studios that I've interviewed so far. So, how's that been?
Man, it's been a roller coaster, honestly. Um I started Dinobyte solo, and then it just grew to what we have today. It definitely has been rocky, especially with the projects and stuff. Because with projects, you don't know whether or not the idea that you have is going to work out fully. But yeah, it's been a challenge, but it's also been a good experience.
Okay. Um, you know, in what ways have you seen the company grow through the years or the studio grow through the years?
I would say our knowledge, from me, I started as a 2D artist doing mainly pixel art. You saw with Way Down, and then I kind of grew to more of like illustration, then 3D art, then animation and stuff. So I would say the biggest growth in the company is knowledge, and now with bringing on more people, there there are more things that I can learn and more things that I can help other people learn as well. So I think yeah, for the company, it's been knowledge,
Yeah.
to help us make better games.
So through yourself and others, essentially, everybody's been growing.
Yeah, because I see the team. I don't want to say like it's like a family because there can be negativity towards that, but
Mm,
I'm a firm believer in like life is a lifelong learning process, and you don't really know everything, and you can learn from others, and that's mainly what I'm focusing on. What's it about?
gotcha. Um, so before founding Dinobyte, you worked on Way Down, which I've played a little bit of. It's really fun. Uh, it's a top-down roguelike, and it's listed under Dinobyte, but you know, uh, we spoke and you kind of worked on it before Dinobyte, and then you kind of put it
Mhm.
under the Dinobyte banner. How was working on the game? What were your inspirations?
So I came on. It's my friend Wyatt's game, and I came on a
Mhm.
little bit after he had already started. He needed a pixel artist. Um, Man, that was such a long time ago. Oh, it feels like it's
Yeah,
so long.
it's. I
Uh,
think it was 2018 is what Steam said. I think it was November of 2018 that it came out.
yeah, well, not I, we worked on it for about a year. The experience was good. It helped me learn a lot about how to release a game properly. I think we kind of rushed a little bit for certain areas and certain parts. I don't think we did too much marketing. That's definitely a big learning thing. Um, I mean, it was definitely different because before then I was working on teams that would start up something, then it would fail, start up, fail, start up, fail. And it was gonna be like my last one. So I'm glad I met Wyatt because I almost lost faith in like working with others and stuff because so many projects past, were failing. But it was a very good experience working with him. Um, yeah, like just the entire process of making and releasing a game was great.
Sure. Um, so the game is, for those watching, it's essentially that you're a soldier and it's a roguelite, uh, and you're going down, I guess, a bunker and you're fighting enemies as you go along, but you're fighting specifically Nazis in World War II. What do you know helped you guys decide on that setting? Did you have any creative input in that, or was it all your buddy Wyatt who kind of decided on the setting of the game?
I think it was his decision. I can't memory's a little foggy, but yeah, I think he already had like a lot of the things in place, and I was there to assist with art and animation. I really liked the idea. I was really into Nuclear Throne at the time, so it was really like sign me up.
Um, so Dinobytes worked on a project Nalia's Tale, A Bounty Hunter's Journey, but you guys have it on hold for now. Can you say anything about that? In terms of like what it is or what you plan on doing with that?
Yeah. So Nalias Tale, previously called Bounty, it went through so many name changes.
Yeah.
It it was it was the first one I think we started. I don't know if I still had the idea for like Black Hill at the time, but it was definitely the first one. And it was like that lesson of never overscope. I definitely overscoped with that one. I was inspired by games like Legend of Zelda, Hyper Light Drifter, Star Wars was a big inspiration for that, and world building. There wasn't really too much because we were still prototyping at the time. I had a buddy, Benjamin. He was helping
Mhm.
me with the programming before I knew anything about how to write a proper script for something to work. Um, but the world building, we had like a space station we were testing out with. Uh, Full Sail had like a thing called Orlando IX a couple of years ago, or many years ago at this point. We kind of like demoed it there and see how people felt about it. Uh, I don't know. It was very Hyperlight Drifter like. Even had the dash as well. I had to cut that too.
Yeah.
It just started to feel like another Hyperlight Drifter, and we switched it up to like these kind of like jetpack boots. I started watching a lot of bounty hunter related shows, movies and stuff, and then specifically the trailer for Prey 2, that canceled game. And he had like these boots, these really cool, bounty hunter boots thing that allowed him to like travel a little bit faster. And we decided to implement that as in the form of a dodge system. Um, but yeah, it got a good ways in. There's definitely a lot of sprites for it still available. If we were to continue it as a 2D game, there's definitely a lot of stuff that can still be used, and especially with the knowledge that we have now, it'd be a lot easier to make if we cut down the scope.
Okay. Um, did you guys have like an idea of when you may return to it, like maybe after Black Hill, or is it just put on hold kind of indefinitely?
So I think we are going to put it on hold for a good while. There were thoughts of making it 3D, similar to, I think it's called Death's Door, with a game about the crow.
I've heard of it. I've heard the name, but I haven't seen gameplay of that. But the name clicks.
Yeah,
So
it's like an isometric kind of game. It kind of like fits the stock because I really like stylized art and especially low poly, mainly because it's easier than high fidelity stuff. But if we do decide, we're gonna have to make the, I don't know, the commitment on either keeping it 2D like Black Hill, or going fully 3D, which could take a little while longer to do. But it's definitely going to be after a 1 or 2 games after Black Hill. We currently are creating a first person game. It's kind of like a narrative driven styled game. If we do Bounty, it will be more than likely after that or a different game.
okay, cool. Um, so we've talked about Black Hill a couple times, or we've mentioned it a couple times. So that's the newest thing that you're working on. I guess that's the
Mhm.
main thing. That's what you guys are posting about. That's what you guys are talking about. How long have you been working on the project, and what's the atmosphere kind of been like around working on it?
Man, it's a long story. So I think I started the idea was just popped into my head while I was creating Bounty. I wanted to create something that was very, very small, maybe like 30 minutes long. Um, I first started by myself creating the idea and stuff. Then Benjamin joined up and he helped with some of the code, I think it was. Was it Ben? No, actually, he was teaching me how to do programming in Game Maker. Man, that was a rough time. But I don't know. It was good at the beginning. I put a pause on it for a few years. I really wish I would have continued because it probably would have been done by now. And then the scope grew. As you know, the more games you play, the more ideas you have you want to put into your games. Um, but yeah, the scope grew. So now it's like a platforming slash top down. There are a lot of platformers out there. And I was thinking, how can I make this a little bit different? How can I make it feel different? How can I make the world feel big? And I decided to take on the Legend of Zelda style for, for anything that's outside the world. It's gonna be top down, and anything like indoors, dungeons and stuff would be platforming. I have a team of I think it's like 7 now on that project, and it has been lightning fast in terms of progress. I
Yeah,
definitely recommend working with others.
cool. Um, you mentioned it just now that you take the kind of top-down style of Legend of
Mhm.
Zelda outside the dungeons and the 2D inside. My next question was on your LinkedIn page that I read for Dinobyte. Black Hill's described as a top-down platformer inspired by Hollow Knight, Celeste, and The Legend of Zelda. You already talked a lot about The Legend of Zelda, but what about Hollow Knight and Celeste? You know, what in terms, I guess, what did you take from inspiration from those games that kind of lent themselves to Black Hill?
So for Celeste, it's definitely the platforming sections. Hollow Knight's maybe a little bit of combat, but it's not really a combat focused kind of game. There's like some light combat in there. But for Celeste, definitely it's the platforming, the type platforming that it has. Piggy, even though his name is Bo, but I will always call him Piggy. Um, he has a set of moves. His wall jump, you can never wall jump at the same wall. You can only go from the one up the opposite of you. It used to be that you only have a limit of like maybe one like stamina bar kind of thing, kind of like Celeste. But then we just cut that out too. Scope creep is the thing. um, so for Hollow Knight, it's it inspired the platforming because before it was just going to be just another story game, and story games are great, and I felt like it needed more fun rather than just wandering around talking to people and stuff, or in this case, animals. So I wanted to do a little more light combat in there, but not something that's too heavy that needs like a skill tree or some crazy hard boss.
Okay, awesome. So I don't remember exactly what it was described as on the Steam page, but like the first sentence of Black Hill description is something along the lines of a game like mom and pop used to make it, or something along the lines. And it's described as narrative driven. Uh, can you say anything about the narrative, or that first sentence? Like mom and pop used to make them. Uh, just anything about the story.
Yes, the the sentence of how mom and pop used to make it refers to like the pixel art style, very restrictive color palette. Um, the story, what can I say about the story? Man, how can I put this? So there's a bit of tragedy in there. Like a lot of stories in video games. But yeah, so tragedy, excuse me, self-discovery. You play as a pig named Bo, and Bo goes out into this world and finds explores these kind of like areas that his dad used to explore. Might be a little bit too much, but he loses his parents at the beginning of the game, and the the remainder of the story is how he deals with it, how he explores the world. It's kind of like similar to, I guess I pulled a little bit from my life in that because my dad passed away when I was a kid, and I kind of had to figure out a lot of things on my own. And I took that, I guess, and I just put that into Black Hill without really thinking of it or knowing it. Um, but yeah, it's mainly about a journey of self discovery.
Great journey to have. That's cool. I can't, wait to try it. But so from art posted on the page, Steam, the LinkedIn page, Facebook Steam
Mhm.
page that you got for Dinobyte, it's like a world with like animal characters. You said yourself the main character is a pig. I think you said his name was Bo.
Hmm.
I know there's like a kind of T-Rex sprite, I think, that I saw somewhere. Um,
Yeah.
and then, a couple other animal characters. You know, what's that the world of Black Hill like that, everything's like the kind of like a bipedal animal. Can you say anything about the world or the characters of Black Hill?
Yeah. So when I started the game, I was very much inspired by Fez and its simplistic style, vibrant colors. But in terms of the animals, I didn't want there to be any killing. So any of the enemies that you come across, you don't really kill them; you just knock them out. Um, I wanted something that was, a little bit different than just, killing enemies and killing bosses and stuff. The demo that we're working on, there is I guess I don't know if he's a boss, maybe he's a mini boss. We haven't decided yet. But once you defeat him, you can decide to, befriend him or leave him alone. And whichever you choose will, have a different output of what that character's story is going to be. Yeah, so because when I was a kid, I was bullied at a certain point, and I don't know how it happened, but me and the bully became friends. I don't remember how it happened, but I guess another, for my life, I guess. I mean, we got into a fight at some point. Um, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I won the last one, and after that, he just left me alone. And this was, I think, in fifth grade, man. But yeah, the story, it revolves around that. There's no killing. Characters, you can, befriend some characters. You can help other characters in the world. I think I did take a little bit from, what was that one game? I think it's not Stardew Valley, Undertale, because Undertale you can
Okay.
make friends and stuff. Um, but yeah, and I don't want to say too much more than that. Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to say anything you don't need. Um, so, following Black Hill, what are your plans for the future?
To grow Dinobyte, I so when I was creating games, I didn't even look at the gaming industry. I mean, I loved playing games, but I didn't really see like how to get into the gaming industry or anything like that. It wasn't until I actually started looking into it that I saw the issue with how everything is. Even still now, everyone's expecting experience, but no one's giving experience. I guess you could say Dinobyte is a volunteer studio in a way. I just want to do the best that I can to help others grow and to get to the positions that they want to be in. So far, I've helped probably about two or three people land a position that they are using their skills. I kind of want to follow that direction. I mean, I love making games. Making games will always be a passion for me, but I've always been kind of like the one to put others before myself, and I always just love helping people. Just helping people grow. Yeah, and that's something I want
Awesome.
for Dynamite.
Cool. Well, so that's most of the questions I have for Dinobyte. At this point, I don't know if you've seen any of my other interviews. I transitioned to, I guess, like more fun. Have you seen some? Um,
I think I've watched
so
like three.
three. Thank you. Um, so first question I'm gonna ask you, and this is something I ask everybody, and everybody seems to think it's like a trick question, is what's your favorite game?
That is a trick question. There's I don't know about favorite game. Uh, Game that I played the most that would be considered my favorite game. It would probably be The Last of Us Part Two.
Really?
Yes, I, I played that so many times, even though I have like other games like God of War that I still haven't finished, the first or the second one, Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know. I just keep going back to playing that experience.
So now we're going to move into some blind rankings. Uh,
Mm-mm.
so the first one I have here is we're gonna blind rank five roguelites slash roguelikes. Uh, base it goes way up as a roguelite. Um,
Hmm.
so you ready?
Oh man, I don't play very many roguelites, so sure, why not?
Then it'll be easy. Um, number one is Binding of Isaac.
Ooh, I missed that one. So on a scale, what do I rate? Like a 1 to 5?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So you one so one is the best, five is the worst, and you have to put it anywhere between 1 to 5, and you don't know what everything else is.
I can't put it at number. You said five is the worst, right? And
Five
one is
is
the
the
best.
worst. One is
I
the
can't
best.
I can't put it at 5 because there's so many great things about that game. Even though I've never played it, but I've heard so many great things about it, and I feel like if I put it at 5, it's it's gonna piss some people off.
Hey, it's
uh
your list, man.
hmm. Well, take into account that I've never played it, I'm gonna have to put it at 5.
Okay. Nobody can get mad at that. Uh, Darkest Dungeon.
Hmm. Wanted to play it. I put a 4.
Um, Enter the Gungeon.
Ooh, I enjoyed that one. That one was great. I don't know if it's the best though. So I did 5 4. Got 3, 2, 1. Hmm. I would want to put it at 2.
Two.
Hmm.
Okay. Dead Cells.
I would say 3.
Three. Okay.
Hmm.
So your number one spot is Hades.
Oh my God. I was actually gonna pick up pick that up. It's another one I haven't played. Man,
Oh,
it hit
really?
me since.
Well, it's a pretty good one. It's pretty good. Um, so now I've got another line rank here. This
Okay.
is five puzzle platformers.
Mm, right up my alley. Hopefully.
Okay. Um, the first one is Portal 2.
Valve. If only I knew what the others were. Portal 2. Hmm. 3.
3? Ooh. It Takes Two.
I haven't played it. It's 5.
5. Celeste.
Mm. Can't give me that one. You can't that one. Celeste. It's so hard. It's a hard game. I love it. It's so hard. At 3, 5. I can't put it at 4. I'm gonna do 2.
Okay. Ori and the Blind Forest.
That one is gonna be 4 because I barely played that one.
Okay. So your number one is Little Nightmares.
Creepy, creepy game. Love it though.
Okay. So I don't have a third blind rank, but I have something that I haven't done before that I'm going to test with you.
Oh
So,
no.
you familiar with the game 20 questions?
Yes.
Okay. So I've got a video game character. You got 20 questions to guess w- what the character is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So you can ask away, man.
Okay. So is the character a female?
No.
Is the character an animal?
Yes.
Does this character have tattoos?
I don't think they do that. Let me double check. You know what? We're just gonna go with no. I don't believe they have tattoos.
Okay. Are they OP?
Um, they can be.
They can be. There's just so many. I don't even know what to ask. Does the character hold a sword?
No.
Is the character a I don't know if this one's allowed. Is the character a wolf?
No.
Is this character catchable?
I mean, no.
Can this character breathe fire?
No. Good.
Hmm.
I know where you were going with that one though. I think I know where you were going with that one.
Is it Ori from Ori and the Blind Forest?
No.
It's a pretty popular character, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this character a dog?
No.
Does this character hold a wrench?
Yes.
Is this character Ratchet?
Yes.
Oh man,
Awesome.
I would have kicked myself if I missed that.
'Cause when you're like, oh, well, can you say the name of the game? I was like, no. Like you would have gotten it right there. But that's it.
Yeah.
Those are all the questions and stuff that I have. Um, I'm gonna leave you off with one final question. Yeah, and this can be about anything, is there anything that you'd like to add before we head out?
Uh, well, firstly, thank you for doing the interview with me. Um, it's really great to get to know you. You threw in some curveballs there. I would also say, you know, gonna be sharing this with the team too. I want to say thank you to my team. We we couldn't have made the progress without each other, being there for each other, and ultimately creating the most, I wouldn't say the most awesome thing, but the most fun thing that we can create as a team. And I don't know, I just want to say thank you to the team. It's been great working with them, and I hope for us to continue working with each other.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks again, everybody. This was Jonathan Medina Reyes, CEO, creative director, and founder of Dinobyte. It was so nice to talk to you. And maybe when you release a game, I can talk to you again soon. But
Oh
all
yeah,
right.
definitely. Thank you, Connor.
Thank you.